Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Staraptor. Welcome back to the channel. On this week, we look at the Rise of Skywalker issue 1 for the 5-part adaptation. I know, why the heck is this coming out like 5 years after Rise of Skywalker? Maybe to tie in with the Legacy of Vader. Well, we're going to get into it, but first, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay up to speed on all my Star Wars content. I just uploaded my Andor Season 2 reaction. I have a bunch of video game content if that floats your boat. So, getting into the Rise of Skywalker issue 1. This is written by Jody Hauser with artwork by Will Sliney, and this was first announced probably not too soon after the Rise of Skywalker, maybe in 2020. This was going to be made, and then suddenly it was dropped, and we don't know exactly why or the details, but I'm just happy we get this now because it completes my collection of all the different sequel trilogy movies and all the Disney era movies that they have put out in the comic book form for Marvel. What I will say is, right off the rip, this is not like the Mandalorian era style adaptations. This one is actually adding something. And no offense to anybody working on the creative teams for, the Ahsoka one, the Mandalorian ones, but those are shot for shot, frame for frame, just pulled from the show with no added dialogue or narration or anything. Whereas everything that I just said happens in The Rise of Skywalker. We are getting deleted scenes, guys. We are getting monologues of characters in their headspace, adding to context. We are getting never before heard dialogue. That sets up a lot of big things. I feel like this comic does a better job than the movie because it's pulling things like Shadow of the Sith as well as the novel adaptation, which really did a lot of heavy lifting, and now we have the comic, which adds even more elements. So getting into it, a little bit truncated since this is a movie, a comic that you've seen. Basically, we start from the beginning of the movie and end right as Rey is doing the backflip over the TIE silencer over there on the desert planet. So a lot of ground is covered. A lot of ground is covered in a very good pacing style. Although I will admit they did cut out the entire scene with Bolio, where Finn and Poe and Chewie are flying the Falcon through the ice caverns to get the information from a spy. Yeah, that wasn't included at all. But there's stuff added, like a Rose Tico scene between her and Leia on Asian Claws, and Leia talking about the importance of the people like her that are responsible for keeping the ships going and finding a weakness in the Exegol fleet. So they actually add stuff for Rose Tico to do in this, right? It's really cool stuff there. We get the Fortnite speech as an overlap to the first page of Kylo Ren just decimating people. I was hoping we'd see the Eye of Webbish Bog. That wasn't a novel, I believe, but maybe later on we'll see that at some point as a flashback. There's a lot of great art choices here, like just the one page of Rey training, juxtaposed to Leia training in the same place on Asian Claw. So really cool images of Leia. We get to see images of Rey as a double-bladed wielding dark side user on the throne of Exegol. We get to see Luke and Lando in their prime, much younger age, on the desert planet there, trying to find where Ochia Bestoon was. So there's a lot of great stuff that's added. I feel like the narration from Rey especially does add a lot more context to what she's going through, and it just overall makes this entire issue, this entire movie, strengthened, I believe. So yeah, I can't recommend this enough. The artwork is just beautiful by Will Sliney. The layouts, at one point they're talking about the Jedi text him, Rey and Leia, and there's just this awesome overlay of just the different written language of the Star Wars galaxy in there. It's so cool, so cool. So really enjoyed this one. What do you guys think? Are you going to go ahead and pick this one up in a trade paperback, or are monthly on the comic issues? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as I said off the top of the channel, lots of stuff hitting you from the channel. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of it. That's going to do it for me, Star. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.